I've just fished for a few hours using my brand new Newport Vessels 55-pound thrust electric trolling motor. Here are my initial thoughts and a review of my setup. I previously had a 3.5 horsepower Tohatsu 4-stroke outboard on my canoe. However, I was constantly having starting and stalling issues, so I decided to make the move to an electric trolling motor instead. This is their Kayak Series model, as they do make standard transom mount trolling motors for boats, but the issue on a canoe or kayak is that the shaft length is too long. The Kayak Series has a 24-inch long shaft, making it ideal for my Sportspal Canoe. I've paired my electric trolling motor with a 100 amp-hour lithium battery. I made an extension cable using 4-gauge wire, ring terminals, and half-inch bolts to connect the cables together. I then covered the connections with dielectric grease, then used 2 layers of shrink wrap, then wrapped electrical tape around the connections, just to be safe, as the last thing that you want is to have a short. I have the lithium battery in a Group 27 sized battery box. I used an Anderson plug so that I can quickly connect or disconnect the battery from the trolling motor. I did this so that I didn't have to mess around with a wrench and making connections with the battery terminals every time that I go fishing. I installed a battery monitor on the battery box that I bought from Amazon. It's supposed to be compatible with lithium batteries, and I did follow their lithium setting instructions. It's currently showing 13.2 volts and 70% capacity remaining after about 3 hours of use, mainly at speed number 1. I also have a quick disconnect plug for a Noco Genius 10 battery charger, which will charge lithium as well as lead acid and AGM batteries at a rate of 10 amps during charging. On the top of my 100 amp-hour lithium battery, I've installed an 80 amp Blue Sea Systems ANL fuse. You can also look at a circuit breaker style fuse if you like. The trolling motor did come with a basic circuit breaker fuse, but I decided to go with a more robust fuse. I used SAE plugs with caps to connect the battery monitor to the top of the battery box, allowing me to easily remove the lid. I then used silicone to seal the hole that I had to drill through the battery box in order to wire the battery monitor. 2 huge benefits of a lithium battery are that you can run them all the way down and that they're less than half the weight of a lead acid or AGM battery. This battery is 24 pounds and I can lift it with one hand, something that you could never do with a similar size lead acid or AGM battery. I debated about going with a name brand battery or not. I ended up going with an Amazon special, and I know that the reviews are hit and miss. Some people have had good luck with the Amazon lithium batteries, and others have not. I looked at name brands such as Battleborn, Dakota, and Canbat. All of these are $1,000+ Canadian when on sale. I ended up paying $430 Canadian for this Amazon battery, as I just couldn't justify paying so much for a name brand battery after I just spent $350 on the trolling motor. Time will tell to see how good this battery actually is, and I realize that the battery is the limiting factor for this electric trolling motor setup, as if your battery dies on the water, you're paddling home. My only complaint so far is that there is some vibration with the trolling motor that goes all the way to the tiller handle and occurs at all speeds. The motor is securely mounted to the transom, so I'm not sure what is causing this issue. I'll check the propeller to ensure that it's mounted correctly, and will reach out to Newport's customer service if the propeller seems okay. To make it easier for me, I'm going to buy an 18-inch tiller extender, as even with the built-in 6-inch extension in the tiller arm, it's not long enough for me and makes it difficult to steer. As you can see, I've mounted the trolling motor towards the port side of the outboard mount on my canoe. To make it easier for me to steer the trolling motor, I'm going to take a piece of 2x4 and cut it to fit in between the outboard mount and this tubular mount. So far, I'm very happy with this setup. The benefits of the electric include being able to instantly turn the motor on and off and not having to worry about choking the motor or not having to worry about it not starting. The stealthiness of it for fishing is important when in shallow water, as you're trying not to spook the fish. And then finally, how quiet it is. There's no smoke, no exhaust, and you can really hear nature. You can hear the birds, the wildlife. You do feel much more in touch with nature. I'm looking forward to putting this setup through its paces. I'll let you know how it performs over the long run, in particular how the lithium battery performs. If you do have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll end the video with some footage of me testing the motor on the water.